गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी मुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी धमाधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव 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 कुंज विहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा द्वारका धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। गंगे माय जमुने माय की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, entitled Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy, verse number 5. ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धम् जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरेह श्रुतिवातनीतम् भक्त्या गृहीतचरणपरया च तेषाम् नापेसि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात्स्वपुंसाम् ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धम् जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरेह श्रुतिवातनीतम् भक्त्या गृहीतचरणपरया च तेषाम् नापेशि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात्स्वपुंसाम् ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धम् जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरेह श्रुतिवातनीतम् भक्त्या गृहीतचरणपरया च तेषाम् नापेशि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात्स्वपुंसाम् ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धम् जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरेह नीतम् भक्त्या गृहीतचरणपरया च तेषाम् नापेशि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात्स्वपुंसाम् ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धम् जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरेह श्रुतिवातनीतम् अगृहीतचरणपरया च तेषाम् नापेशि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात्स्वपुंसाम् ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धम् जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरेह श्रुतिवातनीतम् भक्त्या गृहीतचरणपरया च तेषाम् नापेशि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात्स्वपुंसाम्। Mataji's word to word translation. Ye, those who, tu, but, tvadiya, your, charanambhuja, lotus feet, kosa, inside, gandham, flavor, jigranti, smell, karna vivareha, through the channel of the ears, shrutivata nitam, carried by the air of Vedic sound, bhaktya, by devotional service, grahita charana, accepting the lotus feet, paraya, transcendental, cha, also, tesam, for them, na, never, apaisi, separate, natha, O my Lord, hridaya, heart, amburuhat, from the lotus of swapumsam, of your own devotees. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the ears, accept your devotional service. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts. Purport. For the pure devotee of the Lord, there is nothing beyond the lotus feet of the Lord. And the Lord knows that such devotees do not wish anything more than that. The word tu specifically established this fact. The Lord also does not wish to be separated from the lotus hearts of those pure devotees. This is the transcendental relationship between the pure devotee and the personality of Godhead. Because the Lord does not wish to separate himself from the hearts of such pure devotees, it is understood that they are specifically dearer than the impersonalists. The relationship of the pure devotees with the Lord develops because devotional service to the Lord on the authentic basis of Vedic authority. Such pure devotees are not mundane sentimentalists, but are factually realist because their activities are supported by the Vedic authorities who have given oral reception to the facts mentioned in the Vedic literatures. The word paraya is very significant. Para bhakti, or spontaneous love of God, is the basis of an intimate relationship with the Lord. The highest stage of relationship with the Lord can be attained simply by hearing about Him, His name, form, quality, etc. from authentic sources like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, recited by pure, unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, we welcome you all to Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir for today's Bhagavatam class. I am very grateful to the temple management for giving me this opportunity to study Srimad Bhagavatam and share my thoughts on Srimad Bhagavatam. So I am very grateful to them. Before I start, I would like to seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here, specifically my senior God brothers and God sisters, and also devotees listening online. So I would like to take blessings from them as well, because without their blessings, I don't think so I'll be able to make any sense of these words. And I'm absolutely not qualified to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, but it is Lord's inconceivable arrangement and an inconceivable plan that He continues to bestow or shower His blessings on this insignificant living entity. So reading the translation one more time. O my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the ears, accept your devotional service. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts. So this is one of the very poetic verse where it is mentioned, generally we smell through our nose. But it is mentioned here that the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord is smelled through the ears. It's quite interesting. So I was just thinking about this lotus feet, what it means. And it is, in the last line it is mentioned that when we hear from the pure devotees, probably we will understand what it is. So, as always, I try to prepare my class and I try to go through the different classes, and I came across one of the class where the devotee from, I believe, Shri Rukmani Dwarkadish temple in Delhi, I forgot the name of this wonderful devotee. He started his class with this wonderful bhajan, Ekona Bhujino Prabhu. So, don't worry, I'm not going to sing the bhajan because I don't have any talent of singing. So I'll not scare you with this, but I would love to share the translation of this bhajan with you because it wonderfully describes the meaning of the lotus feet. Because we have been hearing the Lord's lotus feet every now and then. We've been asked to even take the darshan from the lotus feet of the Lord. Right? So I would like to read the translation. There are about 9 stanzas. So please hear very carefully. Afterwards, if you don't hear, that's fine, because this Bhakti Vinod Thakur is speaking. So at least pay attention to the Bhakti Vinod Thakur, not to me. He says, I know now your divine lotus feet are a refuge free from all sorrow and fear, eternally full of sweet nectar. So the lotus feet here described by Bhakti Vinod Thakur as refuge. And what kind of refuge? This refuge has no sorrow. It's free from sorrow and fear. Every one of us would like to go to such a refuge. There is no sorrow and there is no fear. And not just that, it's only the negativity is negated. But there is a lot of positivity. And what is that positivity that Bhakti Vinod Thakur is talking about? Is eternally full of sweet nectar. Everyone is searching after nectar. But where it is found? At the lotus feet of the Lord. So amazing. Second stanza he says, at the soles of those lotus feet, I surrender myself and all I possess. This is the consciousness of an Acharya. O Lord, there is no other protection but you in this world of birth and death. We will see further in our discussion that how there is no other shelter than the lotus feet of the Lord in the birth, in this material world which is full of birth and death. We see that all around. Sometimes we see birth as a very auspicious, is for the others, but a person who has taken birth is not at all auspicious. That person has to go through the grinds of this material world. And further, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, at last, I know myself to be your eternal servant, whose maintenance you have assured. What a beautiful line, isn't it? He's saying, at last I have come to the terms that you are my only shelter. And what he's saying after that? That my maintenance is because of you. How many of us can claim that? We all feel that, forget about my own maintenance. I feel that I'm maintaining my family. I'm maintaining my other family members or relatives. Impossible. What to speak of maintaining your family members? You can't maintain yourself without the mercy of the Lord. That is what Bhaktivinoda Thakurji is saying here. Saying that whose maintenance, that means Bhaktivinoda Thakur's maintenance, you have assured. Everyone is talking about assurance, life insurance and assurance. Here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving us the assurance that our maintenance is assured by the Lord. Then further says, life before, without you, held nothing but sorrow. Now I live free from all misery. What an amazing line, again. That before I came to know about you, Lord, and I surrender, before that my life was full of sorrow. In fact, so-called happiness is nothing but a prelude to the sorrow, because it is going to end. And the same cause of your happiness will become the cause of the sorrow. So it's nothing but the sorrow. But when you come in terms with the Lord, when you come to the shelter of the Lord, then you are free of all the sorrows. Then further he says, this is amazing. He says, Lakshmi, desiring such a place at your lotus feet, executed austerities. Only after securing a place at your lotus feet did Lord Shiva attain his Sivatva, or quality of auspiciousness. So can you imagine the importance of the lotus feet? Is so much sought after. Everyone is searching on Google or in AI nowadays and so many things. But I think we all should be searching for that lotus feet which is right here. Shri Radha Gopinath ji, who is giving us the perfect shelter. Then further he says, upon obtaining those feet, Lord Brahma became successful in his life. And the great sage Narada Muni held those 2 feet to his heart. So when Brahmaji is successful, we are talking about Brahma's prayers. He's actually praying to the Lord to give him the intelligence to create the material existence as a secondary creator. And what he's talking about is not success of Brahmaji is here referred as successful creation of the material existence. The success here relates to that Brahmaji got the darshan of the Lord. That is a real success. And then Narada Muni. Here it talked about the pure devotees. As Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that the pure devotee hold the lotus feet of the Lord in their heart. And we see here, who can be more divine and exalted devotee than Srila Narada Muni? So he's holding those lotus feet in his heart. And then further Bhaktivinoda says, your lotus feet drive away all fear. Having held them to my head, I dance in great ecstasy, singing their glories. This is an acharya. Sometimes I wonder, what would be their consciousness? What would be their feelings within their heart? Isn't it sometimes we all want to borrow that consciousness even for few minutes or even for few seconds to actually have a glimpse that what these acharyas must be feeling? He's saying holding those lotus feet is dancing in ecstasy. What an amazing consciousness. And then finally he says, your lotus feet will deliver Bhaktivinoda from the perils, which is nothing but the dangers of worldly journey. We are all afraid of this worldly journey. Why? Because we do not know what is ahead of us. When we are traveling in train, we know what is the next station. So that's why we are not afraid. But just imagine, I think yesterday only Leela Suk Prabhu was mentioning there was one person whose friends left him because he was sleeping, and he reached to probably he was new to Mumbai, and he reached to VT station instead of he has to get down at Kurla. And for any one of us, let's say I also slept, instead of getting down at Mira Road, I got down at Bhayandar. Was there any anxiety? No, because I know how to get back to the Bhayandar. But this person was new. He did not know how to get back to Kurla, and it was absolute anxiety. So similarly, in this worldly journey, we do not know what is the next stop. And that is why we are in utter anxiety. We do not know what is the next moment is going to bring in our life. That's why he said, Padam Padam Yat Vipadam Natesham. Every step, there is a danger. So sometimes we feel, this ISKCON devotees just go on, harassing us, scaring us. Baba, it is not scaring. It is all about becoming aware. And rather than putting your feet on the mine where you're going to be blasted to ashes, better you put your step which journey is going to take you closer to Krishna. That is what ISKCON devotees are trying to help us. Not scare us, but to help us to go towards a journey which ultimately take us to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And I was just further contemplating that when Bhaktivinoda Thakur is talking about taking shelter or getting surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So I was thinking that surrender has what a negative connotation. Or shelter also has a negative connotation, right? When you hear shelter homes, do you envision something like opulent home, bungalow or something? Shelter homes is what? A bare necessity. Probably there won't be even attached toilet bathroom. As Yatra is coming, everyone is already searched after accommodation of the attached toilet bathroom, right? But shelter homes means what? There may not be even attached toilet bathroom. So is that what shelter here it talks about, Bhaktivinoda Thakur? If you surrender or take shelter of any mortal being, that's what it means. It's a mere or the basic necessity. But you want to surrender to the Lord, everything is given. So what is the difference? When you surrender to the ordinary living entity, there's the only thing granted is protection. What is granted? Only the protection. But when you surrender to the Lord, you know what is granted? Along with protection is definitely by default. But along with protection, what is the most amazing ingredient that is granted when the Lord is involved? And that is love. So when you go to the Sharana of the Lord, you are not only protected, but you are being loved by the Lord. And that is where the beautiful class given by Prahlad Priya Prabhu, where he mentioned that the one thing the Lord cannot tolerate is the blemish of the devotee. Blasphemy of the devotee. So I was just wondering how I can relate to. So we all grew up with our friends and we all had our fights with our friends. And if any of the friend, jagada hone ke baad, after the or during the fight, if they give a swear word or blaspheme your parents, what do we say? तेरे को जो भी करना है ना, you can do it with me. Don't go to my parents, okay? Otherwise, जितने भी दांत है ना, सारे तोड़ दूंगा. Whether you may be Shuklakadi or a Pelwan, doesn't matter. But when it comes to your parents, that's it. Why? Because you love them so much. You love them so much. So similarly, Lord loves His devotees so much. Once you can give gali to the Lord and Lord will say, ठीक है, माफ किया. But अगर तूने अगर मेरे devotee के बारे में, if you say anything to my devotee, you'll be gone. you'll be done. That is what it means, that love. Isn't it we are all looking for that love? That's what it is. And then here it is said that you can smell the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord. What that smelling is all about? The smelling is nothing but an experience, isn't it? If you are inattentive, then you will not be able to experience the fragrance. Even though the fragrance is all around. You may get a little bit of it, but not all of it. But if you are attentive and smelling the flower very consciously, you will get a full experience. So here, what carries that aroma is the Vedic literatures, is the air medium which holds that aroma and gets us to the nostril. But here the nostrils are what? Ears. Because the sound is not going to enter through your nose. The sound is going to enter through your karna randhra, karna vivarena. And when it enters, then you get the experience of the Lord. That is what it is. And what kind of scriptures? So let's say somebody asks you, okay, you read scripture. Then you said, give me the best scriptures, right? Give me the best granth. So which granth is the king of all granth? That's why we call it Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam. So what is in that granth which is so special about? Today morning only I was driving with 12th Sep Prabhu and we were discussing. So I was hearing the class as Pitru Praksh is going on and everyone is trying to offer tarpan to their forefathers, which is absolutely perfect and one must do it. And it is actually the time of gratitude. That's what I heard from Prahlad Prabhu. It was wonderful, right? It's a time to be grateful to your forefathers. Otherwise, what is the use of being a human form of life? You are completely ungrateful and not at all remembering that your whole existence is based on your Pitrus. Because if they were not there, you will not be here. And you will not given this opportunity to practice devotional service. So we should be so grateful. And I was hearing Radha Govind Maharaj's class and he gave, what is the best thing you can do for your Pitrus? What you can offer to them? Of course, you have to offer the whatever the food and the other things as it is being called in the Puranas that, this is the only time they will get to have this Mahaprasad of Vishnu. But the most important thing that you can offer is Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because if you see in Srimad Bhagavat Mahatmya, we'll not go into the story, we all know. If you do not know, then please type in Google or YouTube Srimad Bhagavat Mahatmya and you will get the story of Dundhubi and Gokarna. By hearing, I won't say hearing, by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, even the ghost got liberated. So what to speak of our Pitrus? Such a glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. And why it is so glorious? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is all about the absolute supreme personality of Godhead. And when it was written in the topmost maturity of Srila Vyasadeva. And it was quite an interesting discussion that I had with him. And he said, isn't it Ras Parayan that in our initial days, what a fanatic preaching sometimes we do, specifically around the demigods, and we completely, put them down. But as we mature, and how we preach about the concept of demigods and other is completely different than what we are preaching while we are just joined. So what you write in your maturity is absolutely fantastic. And not just in the maturity, but it was empowerment or the instruction of a guru. So can you imagine the powerhouse that this Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam has? And what the meaning of Bhagavatam is nothing about the Lord and His devotees. And that is what is required for every one of us to listen to. That is what is going to establish the lotus feet of the Lord in our heart. There is nothing else, but only the narrations of Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is this narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam? Is nothing but how all these devotees took shelter of the Lord and they experienced the love, not just the protection, as I said. It is the most important thing. When the Lord gets involved, everything becomes auspicious. Till then, everything is inauspicious, no matter how opulent that thing is. Only when Lord gets involved, then only it will become auspicious. So, I don't think so we'll have so much time, but we'll see how much discussion we can have on the incidents. I am consciously using a word, incidents, that was narrated by Srila Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because many times we call it stories, and our conditioned mind thinks that story means what? Something imaginary. This is not the imaginary. This is actual incident. It happened as it is. So we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, the episode comes where Draupadi was about to be disrobed in the Asat Sabha. Now, can any one of us imagine? We may be wondering that, oh, I am a male body. It's not a male body or a female body. Just imagine that precarious situation of somebody who is going to get disrobed, specifically in a woman body, getting disrobed in front of such an august assembly. It was called a Sat Sabha, but there were so much highly elevated people who were also sitting, like Bhishmadev. And Draupadi's own husbands, all 5 husbands were there. Now what happened in that episode, in that incident? Draupadi was trying and begging to everybody for protection. She was asking for shelter. Nobody could give shelter. What to speak of love? Nobody could give shelter. Even Bhishmadev was helpless, can you imagine? Even Arjuna, the Gandivdhari, the Bhima, the Gadadhari, he was helpless. And when she realized that I have no one but to turn to Krishna, and when she said, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda, and we all know what happened. Krishna provided unlimited sari. It seems that Dushasan had the strength of 10,000 elephants. His arms got tired pulling the sari of Draupadi. But the supply of the sari did not stop. See that not just the protection, but the love of Krishna. Isn't it that we are all want to experience that? So when we hear such incidents from Srimad Bhagavatam with full faith and full attention, then the lotus feet of the Lord gets established in our heart. Then Pandavas got saved or protected for so many incidents, right? From poisoning the Bhima to the Lakshagra. And the most crooked thing that Duryodhana did was sending Durvasa Muni with his 60,000 disciples when they were in the forest, Vanvas of Pandavas. Now at times Krishna comes to your rescue when you call for him, but at times Krishna comes without calling as well. So Draupadi had eaten, it is said that the Akshay Patra that they had, I'm sure all the Matajis would be wondering if I can get that Akshay Patra every day. Right? So no cooking management, nothing, everything is ready-made. But it's not like that because they were in Vanvas and that's why Draupadi was using that. And it is said that after Draupadi ate, then that Akshay Patra has no capacity to produce anything on that particular day. So see the power of woman. It is not that after Arjuna ate or after Bhima ate or anyone. After Draupadi ate, there is no power for that Akshay Patra to produce on that day. And then Krishna comes and says, is there even a single grain left in that pot? And sure enough, there was a single grain, and Krishna put that grain in the mouth. And all the 60,000 disciples, including Durvasa Muni, was over-satisfied. That's the love of Krishna. And many times, I mistake or the devotee mistake the love of Krishna is only when something good happens. No, Arjuna was the same when his own son, Abhimanyu, got killed. He was not going and fighting with Krishna, that saying that, Krishna, what is this? I fully surrender to you. Why did you kill my son? Why did you allow such thing to happen? No. Everything is accepted because devotee also loves Krishna. That is why Krishna is saying that I don't want to live. It is said in the translation and the purport also by Srila Prabhupada that Krishna does not want to leave the heart of the devotee because he also finds so much love in that. So much love in that. So after Pandavas comes Dhruva Maharaj. What a fortune Dhruva Maharaj had to have such a devoted mother who could guide him, saying that you will find whatever you are asking for, only one person can give you. That is Narayan. So please go to, and he asks, such a innocence, isn't it? Where do I find Narayan? So mother says, I have heard that sages go in search of Narayan into the forest. So why you also don't go to the forest? So he went to the forest and met with Narada Muni, and we all know the final story, the result. There is a Dhruva Loka. We all still find the direction based on the Dhruva Tara. Right? It's so amazing that how Lord reciprocates. Then comes Prahlad Maharaj. I will definitely conclude the class with the Ajamila story, but I'll just going further ahead of it. Then comes the Prahlad Maharaj. What an amazing shelter that Prahlad Maharaj took, and what a reciprocation that he receives from the Lord. We all have seen that Mahavatar Narsimha. I can't forget that scene, it's just, they are taking Prahlad Maharaj to the top of the mountain to throw him off the cliff to kill him. And when he is going, even Prahlad Maharaj knows that why they are taking him. And Prahlad Maharaj, seeing that he is just glorifying the Lord, saying that, look at Lord's creation, so beautiful. And these two Rakshasas who are taking him, they are completely bewildered. Saying that, Prahlad, do you know that we are taking you on the top of the mountain not for sightseeing? We are not for the panoramic view. We are taking you to throw you off the cliff so that you die. He said, doesn't matter. My Lord is always there. I have no issue. So what an amazing faith that Prahlad Maharaj had. Right? Then comes the Gajendra. What an amazing, can you imagine, even in the animal body, you are given an opportunity to remember the Lord. Fighting for 1,000 years with crocodile, and finally elephant realized that I cannot do anything. So rather than surrendering to the crocodile, what did Gajendra do? Gajendra surrendered to Lord Krishna. He picked up that lotus flower and offered it to the Lord. And we see that just by that gesture, Krishna was so eager to reciprocate with love that he actually put Garuda on his top and coming to rescue Gajendra. That is our Lord Krishna. That is the loving relationship that every living entity is looking for in this world. But we are trying to find that same loving relationship in the mortal beings. And we are getting frustrated, not just decade after decade, but life after life. We are getting frustrated. So we should look for that loving relationship in Krishna and his devotees. Then comes the pastime of churning of the ocean. Samudra Manthan. What an amazing, amazing incident that happened, where demigods were in complete distress that what to do. And Krishna himself gave them the advice that what they should be doing. And in that entire episode, in that incident, there are so many incarnations of the Lord comes to orchestrate in such a way that nectar is eventually being taken away from the demons and given to the demigods. And what an amazing incident that happens is of Lord Shiva drinking that poison. So you see how, I don't know whether you're getting the point or not, but see how Lord is orchestrating everything. Lord wants to glorify his Lord, most dearest devotee, Lord Shiva. Don't you think that Vishnu could have drank that poison? Is that a problem for Vishnu? He's the creator of everything. Brahma is a secondary creator. But Vishnu says, please go to Lord Shiva. And the Lord Shiva drank that poison. And he got a very beautiful name, Nilkantha. What an amazing, the only Lord Krishna can do this. Right? And then comes Bali Maharaj. Externally it seems that Krishna wanted to take away and give all the property back to the demigods. That's the secondary reason. The primary reason that Lord wanted to experience was the loving exchange with Bali Maharaj. He wanted to show to the entire world that look at my devotee. He is not at all repenting. And when the Lord is claiming that, hey, you have not fulfilled your promise, where should I put my third step? And can you imagine what a fortune that Bali Maharaj had? Bali Maharaj said, put it on my head. Everyone is longing to have the lotus feet of the Lord on their head. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is also praying for the same. And can you imagine, Bali Maharaj got that fortune? What an amazing fortune. And afterwards, Krishna is giving his association to Bali Maharaj in the other planets forever. Then comes Ambrish Maharaj. This particular incident literally blew my mind away. Literally. It is said that sometimes your system hangs. Why? Because it is such an exceptional case, such an exceptional case. Can you imagine? You are the king and some guests come to your home, and because you have done some vrata and you have to break the vrata, for that you are just taking a one drop of water. And your guest is saying that you are an offender. You should be killed. What will you say to such a guest? Get out, my friend, get out. Why the hell you are in my home? I am the proprietor of this home. I am the king. Not just the proprietor, I am the king of this entire kingdom. You are a mere guest in my home and you are telling me that I am going to kill you? And what did Ambrish Maharaj responded? That's what everyone's system gets hanged for that. Ambrish Maharaj folded his hand and said, oh my Lord, whatever you desire. See, there is no wonder that Krishna does not want to leave such devotees' heart. Whether they are in happiness or distress, they know no one but Krishna. They know no one but Krishna. And completely absorbed in remembering Krishna, he just folded his hand. And we all know the story, what happened. Durvasa Muni had to run from Sudarshan Chakra to save his life. And when he goes to the proprietor of the Sudarshan Chakra, the Sudarshan Dhari, Lord Vishnu, and he says, please save me. He said, I can't save you. He said, Arre Baba, Sudarshan Chakra aap hi ka hai. It is all yours. Can you not save me? He said, no. I am bound by the love of my devotees. The only person who can save you is Ambrish Maharaj. Now again my system got hanged, and I am sure everyone's system can get hanged for this. He goes and fell at the feet of Ambrish Maharaj and saying, please save me. Save me from my offense. You know what Ambrish Maharaj says? What offense? You didn't commit any offense. He did not even consider the whole episode or the whole incident considered as an offense to him. Just see the consciousness of Ambrish Maharaj. What an amazing consciousness of a devotee. And sure enough, he forgave him. He said, I don't know, but anyways, if that helps you, I forgive you. Right? And the similar incident narrated by Rohini Nandan, what a beautiful class he gave in this week. He narrated the story of Harichandan, who got slapped from Srivas Thakur. And Pratap Rudra is saying, you are very fortunate. If somebody slaps you and the other person says, you are very fortunate to get a slap. Your system will get hanged. Kya baat kar raha hai bhai? What is going on? That's why Prabhupada says, I think Prabhupada wrote that book, right? Who is crazy? Materialists think that the devotee is crazy and the devotee think materialist is crazy. Right? And then the most shiromani of all the incidents of taking shelter is nothing but the exchanges between Brajraj and Brajvasis. Right? Krishna and Brajvasis. It is such an amazing, it's all these incidents of killing Bakasur, Agasur, Vyomasur. What a beautiful pastimes of Krishna. You just completely mesmerized by those pastimes. And even the pastimes created by the demigods, confusion. Indra's confusion, whether this talkative child could be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is this talkative child who stopped my worship? That's what we sing. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. That Girivaradhari is such a fantastic incident that took place, which is relished by so many devotees for ages after ages after ages. What a beautiful, beautiful incident. And then the Brahmo Vimohan Leela. Right? What a way a Lord can reciprocate. Can you imagine the Lord became the calf and the child of each and every Brajvasis and the cow in Vrindavan. What an amazing way of reciprocation. Who can do this? Only the dearmost Lord Krishna can do this. Only He can do it. I think when we hear all these incidents, we feel, I am far, far away from Brajvasis. I am far, far away from Ambrish Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. Because all these are Maharaj. I am not Maharaj. I am a simple, sinful, living entity. What is the hope for me? That is where it is said that there's sandwich. Something has to be very important, has to be kept in the middle. So I think that's why probably the Ajamil story comes in the middle in the 6th canto. So Ajamil pastime, we all know. What a pious person turned into sinful, wretched soul and got saved. Now, we'll fast forward in interest of time. Why he got saved? So we have this, our regular Srimad Bhagavatam study every day. I would highly encourage that if you have your friend circle, rather than having a WhatsApp and different things going on, have at least 15 minutes, half an hour Bhagavat discussion. Just take one verse, read the translation and the purport and discuss what it means to you. Just do that discussion and it will do wonder to you. You will start developing the love for Srimad Bhagavatam. And that will give you the entrance that is being mentioned here, that same air medium of Srimad Bhagavatam will help you to smell the lotus feet of the Lord. So in that, my dear senior God brother, Achyut Govind Prabhu, asked all of us a question. He's saying, why Ajamil got saved? We all said, because he chanted the Lord Narayan. He said, no. Of course, he is also going to mention about the perspective of one of the acharyas. Not his own perspective, but one of the acharyas' perspective. So someone said, no, because he helplessly chanted Narayan. He said, no. He got the attention of Narayan because the most important thing, now listen carefully, and it will make your entire life. At least I am feeling because of that statement. He said Ajamil had his youngest son who was named Narayan. And he was crazily loving his youngest son Narayan. So when he saw that his death is very near, when he saw Yamadutas, helplessness was there, definitely, there is no doubt about that. But other than the helplessness, the most important thing, he was calling his son Narayan with lot of love and affection. He was calling his son's name with lot of love and affection, Narayan. And Narayan in the Golok, Narayan in Vaikuntha Lok was wondering, who is calling me with so much love and affection? Because Lord is Bhavagrahi Janardana. And we say the Lord is non-different than his name. So who is calling the name Narayan with so much love and affection? That what got Lord Narayan's attention. Nothing else. So that is why we have to be calling out this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we call out that name, we have to call out with lot of love and affection. I am struggling. For the 16 rounds, probably what I am doing, maybe hardly once that name may come out. I don't know. But I am sharing that with you that you may get benefited from this. I am trying. Hopefully, one day, at least one round in those 16 rounds can be with that love and affection, calling out the name of Krishna, Srimati Radharani, Hare. And then you will be able to get the attention. And I'll end with the most amazing person who had this Praghada Premera E Swabhava Achar, Nija Dukha Vigna Dira Na Kare Vichar. The person who is in intense love with Krishna, he doesn't care for his Nija Dukha or Vigna. He's not caring for his own inconveniences or his own Dukha. What he's caring for is only how I can serve Krishna. Somebody who is madly in love can do all kinds of things. And that is our dear Srila Prabhupada. He was in madly love with Krishna. Rather, he is in madly love with Krishna. That's why he could do what he could do. Can you imagine traveling to the Western world at the age of 70? Only, in fact, the lady who gave him the passage in the steamship, she called him, "Are you mad? You're going there to die in that cold country?" But that is what our Srila Prabhupada, because he is in love with intense love, not just love, intense love with Krishna. So many times we feel, oh, it's a Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, but we have here dear Srila Prabhupada, whom we do not have to imitate, but we can follow in his footsteps. We can follow in his footsteps and the footsteps of his disciples to attain this lotus feet in our heart. And that's the only way, by hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam attentively again and again, we will be surely able to smell the fragrance, the beautiful, the most aromatic fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord through our ears. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If there are any comments or questions, please do ask. I'm sure there may be comments. I may have spoken beyond my realization, so please forgive me. But if there are any comments or any questions, then please do ask. Okay, if there is nothing, then thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.